Hi, I'm Gail, and in this video I will try to help you decide if the Scottish National Trail is a trail you should hike. The Scottish National Trail goes from Kirk Yetholm, near the English border, which is also the northern terminus of the Pennine Way, all the way to Cape Wrath up north. It is 864 kilometers long. It was designed by Cameron McNish and launched in 2012. For the most part, it's connecting sections of existing trails like the Cuthbert Way and the Southern Upland Way. It also includes the almost entirety of the Cape Wrath Trail, which is considered to be one of the most rugged trails in the UK, but also one of the most beautiful. In 2020, like everybody, my big hiking plans for the summer went out the window because of COVID, so I was looking for a short long-distance trail that could be done in spring. I found out about this trail that I never heard of before and immediately knew I wanted to do it, though at the time I didn't know that the pandemic would only let me hike it 2 years later. You go through a nice range of landscapes on this trail, from lovely Scottish countryside and farmland, to walking along a canal for a while, and of course you have the beautiful Scottish Highlands. I really don't think there are that many people walking this trail. I didn't meet a single hiker that was also doing it. I only met one that was walking the end-to-end trail, which is a trail covering the length of the UK. The Scottish part is similar in some sections to the SNT, but not all the way. You'll see a bit more hikers on the Cape Wrath trail, but still, it's far from overcrowded. The direction you'll be going depends mostly on the time of the year you want to hike. In spring, going northbound is better, and in autumn, southbound is the way to go. But which direction is best? Well, definitely northbound. Starting in the south will allow you to build your fitness before you hit the highlands, and finishing with the highlands makes for a much more climatic walk. Not to mention, Cape Wrath is a very nice and spectacular way to finish your hike. Though it is sometimes not accessible due to military activity, you can check that on the government's website. There is a link in the description. So which way did I go? Well, I did a flip-flop. If you don't know what a flip-flop is, it's basically a through hike where you walk the sections in a discontinuous order. People usually flip-flop because of weather reasons, often because there is too much snow somewhere. It can also be because it's logistically more simple. In my case, a few weeks before hitting the trail, I realized that my friend Gil from Israel would be hiking in Scotland at the same time, so I reorganized my walk so we could meet up and hike together for a bit. Everybody says May and June are the best months to hike in Scotland. I spent 2 months hiking in Scotland, 1 month on the Scottish National Trail and another month hiking shorter trails. That was in May and June, and if that's the best weather in Scotland, that's still some of the worst weather I've ever seen. More than the rain, I found that it was the wind that was the real difficulty of hiking in Scotland. Obviously, it's also a matter of luck, and while I had horrible weather, you still might want to have the odds in your favor and pick those months. And apart from the weather, it's also the best time with midges. They will drive you absolutely insane in summer, but they are really not that bad at this time of year. I can remember only 2 nights where it was really bad. If you're hiking in autumn, September and October would be the best months, and you'll be treated with glorious autumn colors. The southern section is fairly easy, but the Cape Wrath Trail up north definitely isn't. Because of the weather, of course, but not only. The trail isn't marked, so you want to make sure you have a good map and a GPX track. It's easy to follow most of the time, but I did struggle in some sections, especially when it was very foggy. Up north, the trail can be very wet underfoot, and it sometimes feels like you're walking in a swamp for a very long time. Also, you should know that there aren't a lot of trees to be sheltered from the wind, so finding a good camping spot can be a challenge sometimes, especially in the islands. You definitely want a good quality tent that can resist strong winds. And if you do find trees for shelter, make sure a giant branch isn't going to fall on your tent. Though the good thing is, there are quite a few bosses on the Cape Wrath Trail. I mentioned the midges, but if you're not hiking in summer, you should be mostly fine. While the highlands are remote and wild, the first half of the trail is never too far from civilization and there is some wood walking involved. Though I didn't think it was that bad. Especially when you look at the map and see the section between Edinburgh and Glasgow. I first thought that it would be going through urbanized areas, but the trail follows the Caledonian Canal and it's actually pretty nice. The main resource for this trail is the official website. I also found the blog Wayfaring Kiwi to be very helpful. For the Cape Wrasse Trail, there is a Cicerone guide that also shows all the different alternates for this trail. There are quite a few alternates you can take on the Cape Wrasse Trail. Though this section of the SNT was difficult, it's amazing, and I would love to hike the Cape Wrasse Trail again, taking different alternates, but also try to bag more Munros on the way. I only submitted one Munro on my trip, and I would definitely love to do more. I'd also love to take advantage of the bosses more. Because I was sort of in a rush, I didn't plan my hike around bosses, but if I'd hike the Cape Wrasse Trail again, it's definitely something I look into. I know I kinda made it sound like a miserable experience, but I actually really love that trail, and like I said, I would hike the Cape Wrasse Trail again in a heartbeat. The SNT is an amazing and unique way to see Scotland. Just be mentally prepared for a rough and rugged walk, take the right gear with you, and you'll have a blast. That's it, I hope you found this video useful. If so, you can help this channel by simply subscribing and like this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy trails!